all right, inaugural episode countdown. You see the little things I wrote, and then whatever we come up with, like, you know how we always do, we'll just say whatever.
Right.
I just wanted to give us, in case we don't have nothing, we'll be like, oh, number
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
Like, fuck, dude, we kept talking about that one thing way too fucking long. All right, so
Cool
I'm
beans.
gonna hit the shit, and we on, man. That was unexpected.
That was very unexpected. Oh, was that the plan to come through that?
I forgot that I didn't disconnect Bluetooth. In my mind, it was about to come from here.
Oh yeah, right.
But I'm gonna let it go. It already happened.
You think it's on both? I wonder if it's on both. Oh, you're not hearing it in there, right?
No.
Okay.
I only hear it because, I mean, I kind of hear it. I can't explain it. Plus, we're talking over the intro music. I mean, we should, you know.
Ryan did kill this.
Facts.
Yeah. Cryptic.
Music in the overload. Cheers, bitches.
Do we need the whole song? I don't think we need the whole song.
No, I was just gonna get back to the hook, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Inaugural episode, horse.
Yeah.
Sippy cup. Make sure you check that shit out.
Yeah.
Guys, baby.
This isn't affecting anything, is it?
Not that I can see.
While we're talking, yeah, buddy. Okay, cool.
It might, you know.
I mean, it might once it's actually recorded. Okay.
All right. Welcome to the inaugural motherfucking episode of On God.
On God.
Where we keep it real.
Yes,
because
indeed.
it's on God.
Yep.
Word
Yep.
to the gods. You know what I'm saying? So shout out all of y'all for tuning into the first episode. You know, we gonna work these kinks out and get this shit popping for y'all.
For sure. This is how you just start something. Like no matter how things are going, you start something and you'll figure it out. Because you got to suck at something to be good at it eventually anyway. For most people, you know.
Right. Cheers to that shit. So,
absolutely.
Without any further ado, we are your hosts. I am your boy Pinpoint,
and I am L3. Okay. I ain't know you was going with the joints. You know what I mean? But I was ready to just pop off. But yeah.
Go for it, bro.
I'm L3. You know what I'm saying? Part of the gods. We in here. We about to make this thing happen. You want to hit them off with some of the AKs?
Let me run down some of these AKAs. You know what I'm saying? I am Pinpoint the God, aka Gloria Only Son, aka TKBX1.
True.
Aka Thick Dick Nick, aka Tony Pepperoni.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the sister station, the CMB Wave Gang, MBMA Lifestyle Wave. You know what I'm saying? That's my peoples. That's where all the other shows are at. But we here right now doing this inaugural episode powered by gods. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the sister station. And we going to do some funky shit for y'all. We going to keep it on God. You know what I'm saying?
True. A little bit about everything, I think, today.
Yeah, yo, it's just conversational. You know what I'm saying? This my man. This my brother. We just be talking about shit so much. It's like...
And we had to make a podcast because when we talk about stuff, like we can just literally bounce off of each other just for hours. Like I'll be trying to leave at 7:00. Next thing you know, it's 10:00 and we still just having a conversation that has nothing to do with the way the conversation started. So it's just a good idea to bring that up to the people because these are good conversations that we have.
Yo, so here's what's funny. Speaking of good conversations, I was about to just start playing music on my phone for the background.
Oh, right.
But then I remembered I haven't gone live on Twitch yet, and so I gotta go put my phone for the Twitch. So y'all, this week there probably won't be any light music in the background. I don't think, but it'll be coming because I want to make sure that people can see this shit live. And should I Twitch it or Facebook?
Oh, do we need hold on, because I'm still trying to understand. So we're doing music in the background.
We don't have to, but you know what I'm saying. It just has some ambiance going through any
okay
moments. You know what I'm saying.
I got you.
We totally don't have to, or we can add it in post. We can add it in post.
Yeah. We'll probably
Sorry guys, you're probably already listening to music. Also, my dad is calling me right now, but I'm not putting him on.
I mean, you could. This is the first one. This is inaugural. He might not want nothing too crazy.
He's gonna have a couple things. He's gonna want to talk about the All-Star Weekend, and he's gonna ask me to come do some shit.
Oh, so you haven't done that yet? Okay.
No, we haven't talked about it.
Yeah, because he has to be here to talk about All-Star Weekend.
Facts. So Wait, do we want to Facebook this live or do we want to Twitch this live? I gave y'all the Twitch, but I don't know if y'all was ready for the Twitch. We can do whatever though.
Well, the people that responded to us the most were on Facebook, right? So
That's out of the two that we are choosing from, yes.
right. So maybe there.
Say less. Yo, we gonna be there shortly. All right, that's gonna just start whenever. They're just gonna get some authentic. Oh shit, they went live shit. We can. We can go whenever. I'm gonna drink it.
So what are you drinking?
I don't know how to go live. That's a secret.
Oh, okay. Because I'm just like, I just got water and I see brown. I'm like, oh shit, what we got there? You know, it could be tea.
It could be. It might be. But they'll never know.
Cool beans.
I'm so bad at this shit. I don't even know how to go live.
Oh, you know, I didn't know either. Damien had to kind of had to teach me a little bit.
But I didn't know.
There's a button right there, right there.
I found it. I just had to go to the home. And,
you know, that's crazy. Like I shouldn't say button. You know what I mean? Like I shouldn't be that much of a dinosaur. It's not a button.
Yeah,
but you could call it a button. I don't know. I'm not sure about it.
Let's check this angle. Sorry guys that we neglected you. I'm trying to get everybody together. You comfortable with this angle, bro? Yeah, I can do a little bit of.
We're gonna have to. Yeah, make it work. I guess maybe turn it towards you a little more. You know,
a little more this way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Camera done lost us all together. That's crazy.
Something like that.
All right, fuck it. That one's about.
You said it lost us? What happened?
No, I just because I was.
Oh, okay.
This one lost.
Oh yeah, you good.
All right, so we want to go live. All right.
How we sounding in there? We sounding good still?
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, yeah,
we
gonna get there.
It's in there.
Hit him with a face slap.
What's up, Facebook? We are the fuck in here for the inaugural live motherfucking On Gawd episode. So we're doing a brief, you know what I mean? I'm your man Pinpoint.
L3 in the building.
L3, you know what I'm saying? So we got y'all live. We got some other footage going on. If you're lucky enough to watch this live, you can see this shit now. Everything else, you know,
which is pretty cool. Like this is the start. This is the start.
It feels good. It's got a good feel to it.
Like if you're feeling like, damn, I want to do something, and you're just not doing it because you're waiting for your friends or you're waiting for somebody to do something. This is just a little bit of moment to try to tell you, like, just figure out a way to do it, man.
Bro,
just
trust me, the way we just J-rigged all of this shit,
it is wild.
If we can do it, you can fucking do it.
It is wild, and it's not complete yet because we don't know how this sounds yet, but it's all good. It's all good.
Right, it might be trash right now.
Yeah, I'm just happy to do the thing that I thought about doing. You know.
Yeah, yo.
So
that's what it's all about.
We're gonna do that.
Yeah. So on Gawd, we just gonna be keeping it real with y'all and just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? And if you on the live, you can comment in, and we'll talk to you about. You know what I'm saying? So chime in with the shit we talking about. Now, first thing I want to do, just in case some of y'all are familiar with me. Maybe somehow more so than my man. Let's talk about my man. So my man L3
in the build, baby.
You know.
Within
the last year or two has joined Gawd's. In case anybody on our pages didn't know, so please formally welcome my man. If you didn't know, we did a lot of feature work together. But
you know what I mean.
L3
we in there.
Is a God.
We gotta find out.
My man L3 is from the future, yo. So he sings, he raps. He's an actor, and let's talk about that acting shit because a movie just premiered very recently, and talk to us about it.
Okay.
Yeah, let him know what's up.
It's a series,
but
it's on. But a lot of people, even at the premiere, people were calling it a movie.
It felt movie
so they made it feel movie like. Like they rolled out a red carpet for us. We had a small award ceremony, which was pretty cool. I've never been one to be super big on awards, but at the end of the day, it does feel good to be appreciated. Like someone saw something decent in you, and were willing to give you an award for it. And this actually, I should have brought it. It actually has my name on it and everything.
Damn,
they were playing. They didn't plan it at that moment. They planned it prior to. So that made me feel pretty good.
They already knew you was the shit.
Well, I definitely appreciate. So the award was Best Supporting Actor. For that series, which is good because it's roughly, I don't know the exact number, but I don't know, maybe between 16 and 20 members in the cast. So I was feeling good about that. And so the way that they had this rolled out, what you got? Everything good?
I was panicking because my headset went out. You can probably go ahead. I guess they can hear you. I can't hear shit.
Oh man, but that'll be interesting for our editing. But so they had a red carpet for us. We go to it was actually at a movie theater. They had our pictures up, cast pictures and stuff like that throughout the area that we were taking up. Is it back?
No, I hope y'all can hear us.
It just rolled out, huh? I'm assuming they can. I'm assuming they can because this is still going. But yeah, like I was saying, so they had a VIP area. They had shrimp cocktail. They had this huge plate. Maybe we can put them in there. We're not that advanced yet, but maybe we'll figure that out. But yeah, we might be able to show that. They had this huge lasagna, or not lasagna, pasta salad dish that you could pick from. They had fruit and all kinds of appetizers and decent food. But it looked amazing. It looked beautiful. They set it up way better than I would have thought that they would have set it up. So I was really impressed with it.
Yo, so in the comments on this Facebook Live later, and in the comments when we post this, I'm going to put a link to the trailer that I saw a couple days before the premiere for this joint, for the Braxtons. It's the name of the series. And when you see my man on the camera, you're going to be like, yo!
I know that dude!
Right, you're going to be like, yo, I know it. And he did a good job. Like, I know I'm probably supposed to be a little biased or whatever, but trust me, my man was killing shit on that joint. My man's been burning up the acting scene here a lot recently. So just
definitely doing my best.
Shout out to my man L3.
I definitely
doing
appreciate
big things
you, kind
this
sir.
Year, last couple of years, just doing big things in general. You know what I'm saying? So wanted to get that out of the way.
Right.
This is what we are.
And it was good. And for you guys who don't know, the show is called The Braxtons. The Braxtons, the first family. So it has nothing to do with the beautiful and talented singers, the Braxton family. But check it out. It is Airycan Productions. You can go to airycanproductions.com and you can subscribe. Nice. They don't have a house for the series yet, other than their website. Absolutely. They don't have a house for it yet, but it will be on it will stream on their website regardless.
Yeah.
So I think they were talking about March. It should come out. They don't have the exact date, but it'll be in March. So
we're gonna put the link up. Do you want to spell the name of the production company so they get it right? I believe it's ARIE.
Yes, ARIE Productions.com. Yeah, ARIE CAN Productions.com.
There y'all go.
So you go there, check it out. They have other shows on there, one of which is on Amazon Prime, which is pretty dope. So they are grinding. They're actually like really grinding, putting in the work. Another inspiration.
Yeah, man, I see they got their numbers up.
Yeah.
All the shots from that event.
That
shit looked awesome.
And I really appreciated them, put me on that, because you always get a little nervous when you audition for stuff.
Facts.
So it was definitely pretty cool. The cast was amazing. Everyone was fitted out, and I'm telling you, next time I go, I gotta make sure I'm tip top. Like I was the most mundane,
really
dressed person there, because I wait till the last minute.
Sometimes less is more, though. That understated shit.
Right.
Oh, this nigga don't even give a fuck. Like, yo, you know where we are. It's just fucking Monday, like whatever.
I don't know if I'm gonna put that off, but that is sometimes that can be a feeling. But
understated shit.
Right. I ain't gonna act like the nerves weren't there though, because the food looked so amazing. I didn't even eat it. I ate the shrimp cocktail because there's shrimp in this cocktail. You gotta do that. But before I perform, I don't like to eat anything. The crazy thing is, I've already performed. I already did it.
Did y'all perform?
I didn't perform anything. I already did it, but I was just
felt like that you would perform.
It was just maybe it was just that nervousness that was kind of in you, and I didn't I wasn't feeling like eating at that point in time. I'm a little disappointed about it now because the pictures were so amazing. And my parents told me that it was great because they actually showed up. So that was pretty dope.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
Man,
of course. Hey, matter of fact, Moms won a TV. Like they had a giveaway. They had a giveaway.
Damn, let me find out.
Yeah.
Shit.
They gave away 4 TVs and a free subscription. So
they hire a nigga. I do editing.
You know what? They might. I don't know if they are there, but yeah. I'm sure that would be that would definitely be dope. Oh my gosh! First one down.
Number one.
You know,
ain't even drinking this shit.
I knew, but hold on. Like I said, the center of gravity for this thing is going to be wild.
First of all, pardon me, y'all. I'm about to be ghetto because I want my microphone back, and I'm willing to fuck everything up to get it. Is this the microphone?
Well, so your microphone's good. It's the head.
See.
And
it's still not.
Oh, well,
is it in the wrong joint?
Yeah.
It was working all this time. Maybe the battery died. Like I don't know.
You need a battery for
back
that
on myself, or it's got a charge or something. I don't know. These are like new school shit. I think they died. I think that's the only reason I can't hear is because these joints is dead.
How heavy you put that joint in?
But we still. I'm sure. I mean, either way, the sound working on live, bro, because that's coming straight out the phone.
Right. You put that joint in there, stupid.
I just wanted to hear what these little joints were sounding like.
Get your fingers on there, B.
I'm gonna just take these off.
Well, no, now pull this out and put it in here.
Oh, you want it in a different joint?
Yeah, it's the one right next to it.
Okay, it says example.
No, it should say
Earpiece. Yeah. But that headset joint should have worked though. It was a headset. I think the headset is dead. Honestly, I just don't think it's just charged.
It's still not nothing. You got nothing.
Okay. Dead. This is what happens when you get shit in the future. These fucking beats.
Hey, me go.
It's got a charge slot. I don't got time to charge this shit right now.
Oh well.
So
we'll be better
next
prepared.
week. Yeah,
we'll be better prepared.
But we know, you know what I'm saying. I know you can still hear it stuff. So let's talk about.
You think we should take that out? Is it gonna mess anything else up?
Mess what up?
I don't know.
You know what? We'll take it.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know. We hadn't tried out that jam.
Yeah. We haven't tried that out yet.
All right, so we back.
Yeah, the premiere. It was a really, really dope experience. I'm really grateful that I got to attend that.
That shit sounds cool, man. I can only imagine what that would feel like. Maybe one day.
Absolutely.
I'll find a way to know. Yeah.
You know, I'm one of the people who doesn't really, like I said, wasn't so pressed about awards. But low key, I'm competitive, so I kind of did want.
If somebody else would have got
it. Yeah. I'm like,
what the fuck did he do that I didn't do?
You know. Shit. But now everyone was dope, so I could honestly understand it. But when I put the award down in my house on my table, I was like, more of these to come.
It felt good, right? You got it. Now you like, let me buy a thing just to house all my shit.
More of these to come because we're definitely gonna keep working at it.
Bro, let's get that shit. Let's get that shit on all angles. Let's get that shit for your acting. Let's get it for the music. Let's get
absolutely.
This kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 pieces of hardware between you and the group. Let's keep adding the hardware.
Right. We got a family. Even though not everyone knows everyone yet, but I got people over here. There's other people that y'all have that I don't know about yet. So we're gonna get it.
It's gonna be some cool shit. So that's what's up. Fuck all that. Let's talk about some wild shit because it's been a lot of shit going on, and I want to know what you think about it because this is where our shit's really gonna fire up. So I know we all heard about the fucking China balloon,
right?
The first weather balloon joint that was supposedly pulling information, and that's cool. Then they said that like 3 more or 4 more things.
There's 4 total, down. I think.
But now I'm starting to hear that one of them was like a Hobby Lobby. It was like a bunch of people.
Oh, someone made some stuff. I didn't hear about that.
So, because people been fucking with the Biden administration, like, will y'all stop fucking going to war with the fucking science fair people and goddamn. But I've only heard them kind of come in about one that they were able to confirm, and that's only because a group reached out to them and was like, "Yo, we launched our thing from such and such place,
right,
and we couldn't find it, and we think you guys shot it down."
Well, there was one that they pulled out of the water, right? I saw the headline. I saw pictures, but I saw them pulling one out of the water. But because it didn't even say it had nothing juicy except for that in the headline, I'm like, I ain't got no. Y'all have no information.
I be feeling like
you're just gonna have this long, drawn out story saying that they got something out the water that no one knows anything about because the government won't tell us.
I feel like for me, it depends on where I'm finding the story at, right? So like if I'm on my Facebook timeline. And I just see one share, and it's just whoever.
Fair.
And that shit's like, shit found, crazy shit. Da 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 da. I'll be like, if that's real, somebody else. Like, if I do 3 more fingers
there's gonna be more.
2 more motherfuckers gonna be like, crazy shit. But it's like if I get one, I'll go back and find that person.
I do the same thing.
I knew I ain't trust fucking Fred. Fred's a fucking moron. Fred's a fucking fuck you, Fred. I can say that because I don't think I got any Freds, but y'all, you know it's you, then it's fucking you.
Definitely probably have a friend. I know I have a couple friends.
I know a Fred, but he ain't on my shit. I don't think.
But that's funny that you say that because I will see something and be like, I don't know.
Like this
and then
shares anything.
I'll scroll again until I see it from like 2 other people, and I'll be like, oh shit.
Same shit when somebody died. I'll be like,
same, yeah. Unless,
like really, Samuel Jackson, yo. TMZ's on my. I follow TMZ. They ain't say shit yet. Like,
it's got to be something. You know what I did realize that I can be tricked on Instagram when if a post has like. There's ways that they can write a post where it seems super professional, like I don't know
the
if
wording and the punctuation, and what's capital, what's not.
Exactly, and also I think it's the font that they use. Okay. I'm like, oh, this is important.
If it's the font on the photo?
Yeah.
Okay, so
like if it's kind of like black backgrounds in some ways and it has like white writing at the bottom and maybe something at the top, I'm like, oh shit, this is serious.
Yeah, or if there's like a big word and it's got like some sort of graphic that looks like it's a part of the font, but you couldn't get that weird underlining with the angle, like what? And then you be like, oh shit. You're right, yo. Definitely, font makes a difference on the image itself.
But otherwise, I'm scrolling until I see something.
So I get up like now, if like 11 people share it, I'm like, all right, I don't follow that many dumbasses that all fell for the banana in the tailpipe at the same fucking time. Well, but that's when the names come into play. So there's certain people on my. This is a whole nother topic, by the way. But there's certain people on my Facebook that I automatically assign respect to the things that they post.
Okay.
And I also have a value system that I assign to people on my Facebook or Instagram that fuck with my posts. Okay. So with certain names where when I see them on my posts, if those are the only names I get, I'm okay with that because I fuck with what I believe those 3 or 4 people think like enough to know that this is a successful post. Like if enough people don't interact with it, they're just not where me and these 4 people are mentally. Right. But it's still a good post. I could get 38 reacts and not give a fuck because most of them are like
that's pretty good.
Just like randoms. Like I mean like they're cool, but I don't put that lofty title of like I've earned your respect through this post because you appreciate all levels of comedy and all levels of right. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just certain names where I'll be like, yo, because of where you are and what you're doing in life and what I see you posting and the type of shit that you don't like, because I'm aware you are aware of it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they talk about what they don't like seeing. So when you see those people fuck with your shit, I'll be like, yeah, nigga, like I got those people. They don't never come out the woodworks. I think that's fair. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be shit like that too for that. So if it's 11 people that share the same shit and it's questionable, but some of those are the people that I'd be like, nah, they be on it. And that's a good 11. Even if the other 6 is sus, I'm gonna be like, nah, that shit happened. That's fair. I won't even need TMZ because I'll be like, oh, so. Yeah,
if all these people are saying it, then it's probably true.
But if it's the wrong niggas on my Facebook, I immediately have to check, or I'll just forget about it instantly and be like,
not
I'm willing to risk being late on this one. Right. I'll check again in 5 hours.
Right, like I'm not gonna worry about it. But you know, the reason why I was like, is because this is an interesting one, just because so many people were rocking with it. I don't know if you watched it. You People? Did you watch You People with Eddie Murphy? I haven't watched it yet, no. Okay, I think I want to wait until you watch it first.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, I keep putting it off. All right, so since we can't pivot to that yet, let's get to the other piece of the UFO shit I wanted to talk about.
Let's get back to it. Okay.
So they had an excuse for one of them.
Do you believe in UFOs? UFOs is unidentified object, flying object, right? Yeah, but do you believe that there are aliens?
I think that it would be
from outside of Earth.
Right. I think it would be crazy to rule that shit out. It's impossible to rule it out. I don't see. There's only one way I could see it not being true. The only way I could see that aliens are not exist in some capacity is if all of this is currently a simulation. And even if all of this is currently a simulation, that still doesn't necessarily mean that aliens don't exist. It just means they don't exist within our simulation, or they are simulated in our simulation, which would make it not real. But in that scenario, neither are we. Interesting. So in other words, 3 out of 4, fucking 75% of it, like yes, there's fucking got to be somewhere. It's just a matter of if this is the real us or if this is a fake simulated us. But it can't just be us. So that's kind of what I was going to get at because, you know what I'm saying, we knew the first thing allegedly was some China shit, even though they didn't claim it. We know at least one of the things
they claimed it later though, right?
Then. Not necessarily. They claimed it in an underhanded way because they was like, we didn't do shit. But then they also was like, it was a weather balloon. And then they also hit us with well, y'all have done that 10 times. You've sent 10 weather balloons in the last couple of years. The U.S. ain't shit.
I don't know. I thought it had made in China written on it.
No, somebody people be photoshopping.
I know. That would be hilarious though.
It would have been.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, no, they didn't do that. But my
thing is, could you imagine?
Yo, that would have been the dumbest shit ever. Like that would have proved that America's not the dumbest country after all. But yo, fucking
like we spy on y'all. We don't even care if you guys know or not. Well, actually, because it wouldn't be that. It would be just some type of fabric that they just decided to use. That just happens to have made it
right. That would be funny. It might.
That'd be hilarious. All right.
But what about the other ones? Is what I'm saying. If 4 or 5 things
like the Alaska situation, the Alaska one and stuff like that.
I haven't heard enough about the other ones yet.
Yeah.
And I've seen news channels kind of insinuate like these things are balloons. These things are probably not what you guys are thinking. They're probably internal and they're probably just wasn't registered. Right. But I'm like, all of them? Because at the same time, I've been hearing a lot about UFO sightings outside of that recently.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of shit on social media, and that's kind of hard. You know, we're in like deep fake times. Yeah. We're in AI times, so I get all of that.
And you never know what's real and what's not, but
I don't know, yo. The climate right now, I feel like still suggests that shit is legit. Because, you know, ever since like 2016 or 15 or so, the Air Force has been releasing footage of things that they weren't able to.
Right.
Like their pilots
like
were
the TikTok.
able to.
The TikTok joint?
Yeah, that too.
Well, TikTok. Tic Tac. That's what you eat, right? Tic Tacs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had
one.
Yes,
that one.
Yeah. So that I heard a lot about that one, which was pretty interesting because the interesting thing to me about those is the fact that and like this one, they also said that it seemed to be floating without anything to propel it.
There was nothing. So for the Tic Tac one, they say it was traveling off the water, came off the water, and it was able to like bang corners. And like the jet fighter was saying that this one corner that he needed to hit, I forget what state he was over. I was watching a special on Hulu, and they add like a new episode every week now. But he was like, when he went to pursue it, he was like, the speed he was traveling, I don't know if he said he was going like 1,700 miles an hour or 3, but whatever it was, he was like, by the time he'd have made this certain curve, it would have had him over the majority of that whole state that he was flying over, because that's how fast he was going before it would have finished curving. But he was like, the fucking Tic Tac shit he was following, like immediately 90-degree bang that angle. Like on the spot. Yeah. It didn't take him the rest of the state to get it. Yo was like, yeah, what? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy with no propulsion systems.
And a human couldn't withstand that kind of G-force.
Could not withstand the G-force, and the only device that I know of that we have access to that moves like that is like a laser pointer.
Right.
So it's like, unless somebody built a big ass laser pointer that has the ability to look and sound like shit.
Well, apparently it didn't sound like anything. Right, well, I guess no one would know. No one has said anything about the sound.
So unless it was some of them say that they didn't hear what they should have been hearing. Energy turbine engines or something to produce the energy it would take to. Because they were also saying the shit was going like 40 times faster than they were, but was still able to pinpoint angle shit and not take forever to get it.
I like your reference there.
Thank you. So that shit is crazy. So, but if that's real, for me, it's either somebody built a dope ass what's that shit called when people do concerts but they're dead, but it'd be like a hologram.
Hologram.
It's like somebody either built a hologram laser point system that fucks with us, or something's fucking flying around, bro.
The reason why that can't be is because it's also showing up on their radar. And
exactly.
That wouldn't show up on their radar.
So for me, that kind of doubles down on my answer to your question, because it's like, yo, where the fuck did those things come from? We're either doubling down on it. It's either alien shit, or it's us, because
with technologies that no one knows that anyone has. But humans don't keep that great of secrets.
That's why that's not where I'm at. The secret would be, it's almost like in this version of it, if anybody's ever seen the Truman Show, it would be like all of us are Truman, and fucking, but we're a simulation program being run by computers in the future.
Okay.
That are, you know, that. So where mankind is at right now, let's just pretend mankind is in like the year 5000.
Okay.
And by the year 5000, we were able to build computers that were so amazing that we're way beyond virtual headsets. We're way beyond PlayStation 5, because it's been 3,000 more years, right?
Yeah.
Imagine what we'll accomplish.
We've came a long way in 20 years.
In the last 50 years, we were able to do
20 years.
things.
In 20 years, we've come a long way.
But if you go back to like Atari and ColecoVision and then bring it to now, it's like a fucking your head will fucking explode. If you just jump a nigga from 70 to now, he'll just die on the spot. So if you add 3,000 years to that, my other proposal is that if it's not aliens in 2023, It is humans in the year 5000, whatever, coming to repair issues with the simulation, right? So like you got to come do maintenance work. So like for example, I keep seeing Reg's wife saw an airplane frozen in the sky while she was on the highway. It never moved, and she you know what I mean, could have gotten an accident watching it. I have seen other posts of people taking video footage of them driving or walking, and airplanes are just frozen in the sky. It just looks like a hologram. It's just stuck. It's not on anything. It's a plane, but there's no way to explain why it just doesn't move anymore.
Well, okay. Well, I don't have a great explanation for that exactly.
You're not going to be able to finish that sentence.
But
not to me, you're not.
But what I know, a plane is far different than a bird. However,
it's not moving. It's not because there's no sound.
Right.
Moving.
But I'm just saying, in certain scenarios, a bird can look as though it's not moving.
I'm gonna tag you in the post.
I would like to see that.
Is there a picture? In these comments, there's a picture
need to see
and there's video.
Well, I need a video because obviously
the picture wouldn't be enough because we can make it. And I'm gonna put it in the comments if I can remember, y'all.
So here's the thing we're just talking here. Birds, sometimes it looks like their wings are they're just floating. They're just like sitting in one spot because the wind against them is enough
but how much
to push them.
That's cool, but are you suggesting that there's an unbelievable wind gust up above in the plane section that's not affecting the people down on the ground looking at it? There's no wind down here.
Well, up there is crazy anyway.
Wouldn't the plane be in some sort of trauma or danger and be like,
might be the GoPro.
It's probably done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that joint would crash because the engines, like I can't imagine a plane hitting up against wind so hard that it stays perfectly still and doesn't end in a crash landing.
I think it would be something where you could adjust. Like for instance, when the planes need to go to the airport, right? They make that long U-turn to fly around, right? Hold on, hear me out.
See this video.
So sometimes they might have to if they can find a way to slow themselves down because they have to kind of like wait anyway. Yeah. And if they're just because they would probably know if the wind is blowing them in a way where it doesn't really have to have that much force. It doesn't have to have some crazy wind. But if the wind is blowing that way, if the current is moving that way, they can just kind of use their wings and their engines to stay afloat and be fine.
So this was one.
I think that's probably if it happens with a bird, it can probably happen with a plane too.
The plane in the video that I was watching, if I'm not mistaken, it was more like a smaller type flight. Like it was one of those like.
Well, that would be better from my understanding if it was a smaller plane.
Right, because it wasn't like it was so high up in the sky that like you're just like, man, I guess it's moving fast, but we're so far down that we can't see it. This particular plane almost looked like it was low enough, like it was crashing, like it was coming out of where it should have been, and it was low enough that like you could see details of the plane. Right. So it had like you could see the propeller, and the propeller was also like.
So the propeller was
That's
not
what I'm
moving.
saying. Like the shit that's supposed to be moving,
but
was like
okay,
and it was suspended. So
hold on.
unless it's on strings,
but no. Look, hear me out.
Because that's how it stays up. It's not just the wings. It's got to keep.
Yes. That means the engine will be running. But if the engine wasn't running, that won't turn.
But it would fall out of the sky.
It might not because
or it would be moving.
No, it can float. It can stay afloat.
But 100% still.
I mean, it will. It won't be 100. It may
That's
be,
my issue.
It may be 100% still to the eye.
Same time.
But it may not. It may not be 100. It may look like that to our eyes, but in the air, you can move the wings, so you can not float, but you can glide.
You know what this sounds like? So I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds like the only thing that a person could say if they weren't willing to accept the finality of what it really means if it's not what you're saying. Because if it's not what you're saying, it is 100% one of the two things that I said. So we either have aliens or we, in fact, are a project of our future selves that are trying to... Because what do you do when you become advanced society? The proof of your fucking knowledge is that you have a craving to learn from the past. So, that's why we study history and always have, because the more you know about the past, the better you can move forward.
Right.
So there's no way that 3,000 years from now, us... won't be curious, how did they really do shit?
Oh yeah, I'm curious now.
Because if I can learn how they did it back then we'll know how to where the best move, right? Like we would love to be able to see footage or a simulated version of 2,000 years ago.
Are you saying?
But we're not capable of doing that right now.
this is kind of going to go a little bit off subject, but we'll be able to bring it back. So are you saying that, in your thought, I don't know if you thought of it this way or not, but are you saying that, say, the simulation would be to see how things, like, this isn't actually history.
Right, this isn't history. This is
a simulation.
The same stimulus, give us all of the things that they believe were available back then,
right.
And then let an AI program
to actually
basically
that's
run
pretty cool.
Scenario.
That's pretty cool. I like
we're
that.
We're a part of that. So although we feel very organic and very,
right.
They were able to do, you know what I'm saying? Like this is happening, but this isn't a clone to your
right.
This isn't an exact clone of the past, so they can just watch it happen. That would be silly.
Okay.
But rather to see how the things that they know did happen may have played out based on watching it.
Do you think it would be a
real stimuli?
Do you think it would be like small things, or do you think it would be a hologram, like or real, like some type of video series that's digitally somewhere?
I'm unable to quite, because this is a thousands and thousands of years from now advancement. My brain is incapable of knowing how they would simulate it from digital to also having biological pieces of this, or whether or not that's just implanted in our mind that when we cut ourselves, we see blood, but they're just making us all see that with each other, like a collective shared experience, but they're all like, it's this stupid shit. We programmed them to feel pain. There's no pain. We're not sadists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows?
The reason why, so I understand what you're saying, that it may seem like I am like I'm gonna make something up.
You have to,
but
because once it doesn't make sense, that's terrifying.
So, but here's the thing: so many things don't make sense to me. But what I will say is that with everything in life, the way that I view things, the way that I process things is, if I don't know, I don't know. I won't ever say yes or no to aliens. I literally don't know, and I don't have a way to prove it. I have a way to prove that my car is outside right now. I can go out. Hopefully, I can go outside and see it. I didn't hear it start up but that's a way for me to prove to you that I have a car outside. But my thought was, which I kind of have this conversation to people from time to time, is if you can't put it in words, not necessarily put it in words, but if you can't prove it to me, then you don't know.
Fam, that will bring me to a much deeper discussion,
which goes into religion and everything. But
because you can never ever, because if you feel that way, now wait, y'all. This man said no. We don't have to talk about it tonight. Okay, but I am going to reference this episode the night that we do. So we
are going to talk about it.
Everybody to know that he just said that if you can't prove it to him,
if you can't prove a thing to somebody, it is not factual.
But do you feel that way if someone can't prove, like physically prove, like you said, go out and touch the car, it's here. Yeah. Right? So you kind of
allow me to use my senses to acknowledge
because when we talk about religion, that's kind of going to be the angle I'm coming from, and I suspect that at some point you and I are going to have a disconnect during that conversation. A cool disconnect. But nonetheless, I'm going to cite this moment as why we should still be connected, okay? Because he said that it's helpful to have physical proof, or else you have to state that technically you don't know. And that's where I'm going to be on that day, is technically. All right? Whatever I say,
I think we'll be closer. We'll be closer when it comes to religion, I think.
We probably will, but I know I'm going to take a turn at some point where you're going to be like, fam.
That's fine. That's fine.
I mean, be like, look, you asked
honestly,
Pinpoint.
The simulation is already a very interesting term. Once again, I don't know. What's that? Is it doing stuff?
I'm getting a phone call.
Oh, okay.
I can't answer right now. I'm sorry. It's actually my sister calling me. What's up, Mo?
Hopefully
you'll see this.
If it's not an iPhone, I don't know what's going on. Well, so 2 people from your family have called.
That's some hater shit. They have, and that's a bit odd. But also, I don't know. I'll find out after this part.
Okay, I should say. If not, you could take the phone call and we can. Well, that's live, but this isn't. But and we could just take either. Yeah. So I'm just.
Yeah.
Might be a great idea though. Maybe. You never know.
All right. Facebook. We'll be right back, and appreciate it.
But I think we'll be closer on religion than you think. I'm sure there will be some instances where we may disagree. I don't know, or either that, or I will be able to back some, maybe not back some things up, but I'll have opinions that maybe I don't. I'll be able to play devil's advocate with some of that stuff, which is interesting, being that we're talking about religion. That should be cool. More 660. But
it definitely just sounded like kids at the playground.
Yeah, it's not. They didn't. It's not great. Now, yeah, it's not great. But going back to the aliens, one of the things I wanted to say about that Tic Tac thing was how they said it moved. Right, so they said it would. I think when it hovered over the water, it was kind of like flatter, but then it would go. Actually, no. I think when it was chilling, maybe it was flat, but then it would just like lift up. You can see you can just lift up, and then it would just take off and do whatever it was going to do. But one of the things I'm curious about with that, because I was listening to something else, and they were talking about this other UFO that I guess maybe the government has, and it is, I guess it's like almost like anti-gravity. And it's almost it essentially has a force field around it that you can't necessarily see, but it's this object, but you can't touch it. So if this thing was like, you can see it, it's right here in front of you, but you can't like touch it. You can't, Yeah. So if there was something like that, for instance, that Tic Tac thing, if it doesn't necessarily have gravity to keep it straight or to bound it, then it may be able to use gravity to move.
Right, that could be what we haven't figured out, is that it's not about propulsion and fossil fuels.
Yeah.
It's about fucking
figuring
out a new, like a trigonometry that we don't know, a geometry we don't know.
The way that we use wings in the air is maybe how that uses a force field with gravity or anti-gravity.
Right, and they're probably looking at our technology like they found fire. That's cute. And we're like, nigga, we got jets. They're stealth. We can fucking,
we can do some stuff.
They're like,
we got cool stuff that we can do.
They're like, y'all are fucking trash. Yo, so here's another thought, right?
Because if it can turn gravity off, it can just go down like whenever or go back up.
It's clearly reversing the properties of something that we understand.
Yes, that's a better way to say it.
Using physics against itself almost.
Well, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, because that's what this is. Podcasts are just cut off.
True. This is true.
They shouldn't have to be, but that's what happens.
Right.
Natural talking shit. But look, right? I feel like this. I feel like humans are a bit arrogant, right? I've been watching a lot of specials on Netflix and different things where they talk about the intelligence levels of animals, and how we as humans for decades have been, through our studies, not necessarily conducting them correctly, right? Because we as humans view intelligence based on things like using your opposable thumbs, using simple machines, fucking the way that we're thinking about it, like how people think is the way that you're only allowed to think if you're smart. But in more recent studies, when they start to study animals, they think about things from their perspective, and if you're able to do it,
which is how you should do it,
and then look into their intelligence based on their field of view and what matters to them. We now understand that a lot of animals are way smarter than we ever thought. Have actual social systems, communication systems.
That's always so. That shouldn't be crazy to me, right? Because we have the same thing, but it's so interesting to see.
And as a kid, you always think that you imagine like, yo, these ants are like working together. Before there was even a cartoon called Ants, I would see ants outside and be like, I'm killing you, and y'all think I'm a giant. You start there, and then it goes from there. You personify shit. But now
they really do work together,
Right. Fast forward to the future, right? We started learning shit about ants, probably before a lot of these other. But fast forward, you start thinking about, they say elephants are smarter than humans, and that it was always a statement that they never forget, but that's based in literal truth. You know what I'm saying? You know about the elephant that like fucked that one lady up because
it's crazy.
She was throwing rocks at her to stir.
And then found a funeral.
Yeah, did all of that. Elephants have funerals, like they mourn together. Yeah. So dolphins have been noted for decades as smarter than us. So here's the point I'm trying to get at. All of that shit is true. And at the same time, only roughly 30% of the planet is got like land. So the roughly other 70% is underwater. Yeah. And that's where the dolphins are, and they're smarter than us. That's where the octopus are, and they're smarter than us. Some of them live way longer than us. I think human arrogance would be to assume that if there was another alien life form somewhere that when they came to this planet, that they decided that the land part would be where the smartest organisms existed, and that they would come talk to just 30% of what was populated as if we were the leaders, when they're probably smart enough to sense smarter beings in the water, like the dolphins and the octopus. So just theory, because I
really like that idea.
We don't know what the aliens look like, so they might find that sea life creatures are much more relatable to them than we are. So they could be bypassing us because we are the stupid ones.
Right.
We're also the destructive ones. We're the ones destroying the water and the land at the same time.
That's why I feel like they would talk to us.
We are the enemy. There's microplastics in the water for us that are killing the life in the water.
Right.
And while we do have things like TV and shit and things that separate us from the animals, the aquatic animals own more of the planet than we do. We are not even smart enough to be able to get down there and look. We don't even know what's down there. That's how dumb we are. Yeah. And they are adaptable, quote unquote, because they can survive on 70% of the planet. We get 30. So why the fuck? So when people see spaceships dipping and diving in and coming out of the water,
why wouldn't
they be like, why the fuck wouldn't they? That's where the whole planet is.
I like that.
And it's
I agree with
far down. And how do we even know that some of the shit that lives down there is either some of the creatures that we already know, maybe they are aliens, or are
I was actually going to get to that point.
Aliens.
I was going to get to that point. I have one reason to believe that is true.
And even if that's not true, right? Because they say like the octopus, there's a lot of shit down there that has no reference point biologically.
The octopus is an alien. Like, come on now.
So that's already probably a thing that we just have never been willing to admit. But what if it's deeper than that? What if the octopus is just the tip of the whatever? Mm-hmm. And whether it's just because the octopus only came from one particular planet somewhere out there, but what if there was also multiple species on whatever planet it came from? Just like there's so many species on this planet. So what if the octopus is just the top of the shavings and deep down, further than we can swim unless we're laying internet cable? There could be a whole society under there, like in Black Panther 2.
Yeah, for sure could.
Like where those fucking underwater Mexicans were.
Yeah.
But what if it's
Which
like
was so cool.
aliens?
And can we talk about that just for a split moment?
Why was there underwater Mexicans instead of it being the lost city of Atlantis or whatever?
For sure, I'm okay with who's
Sorry
down
that
there.
I keep saying Mexicans, but I don't know.
Right, we don't know their exact
mezcal,
culture. But
whatever the fuck they were trying to say.
But so my thought about that was they rolled deep.
Fam,
how did they not win, bro?
Well, yeah, that's the first thing right there.
I am for us. I'm glad. I
was happy they was at least fighting.
I'm glad we won
because then it's like, well, whoever wins, at least they were brown.
True.
Sorry.
Yeah, but it was. Granted, they knew that coming together is monstrous. But that's beside it. They rolled deep.
But the deepness of that.
Okay.
Right, like, what if there's aliens down there? And it's not, and they're, you know what I'm saying? So it's like octopus could be one of many from one planet, or one of many species that have come and decided to take some space in the ocean from other places, or whatever, or it could happen in the future. Because even if none of that has already happened, I just think it's real arrogant to assume that because we have nuclear missile power, and because we have the internet, and because like, yeah, we're destructive, but I wouldn't necessarily fly to another planet and look to have a conversation with their most destructive force. I would fly there and look to have a conversation with their smartest and hopefully non-violent force, which might be something underwater that they know how to communicate with.
Do you think that something so far down would know about what's going on up here on land?
Maybe it doesn't matter because it's only 30% and they don't care, just like they assume we don't care what's going on in their area.
See, I get that, but my only thing is when you have weapons of mass destruction that can really destroy the Earth, but here's the thing: can it destroy the Earth, or can it just destroy the land on Earth?
Here's the other thing.
I didn't think about that.
What if? Because again, right? Like
if it just destroys the land on Earth, that's different. Then they're like, yeah, we don't care what they do because they can only harm themselves. They can't really harm the whole totality of the Earth. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true.
Right.
Because they got some crazy stuff.
Because we only talk about it from a human perspective.
Right.
So from a human perspective, we talk about the planet will be destroyed. But again, it's because we're bombing the only 30% we can survive.
Right.
If we had gills, we would probably talk about it differently.
Right.
Because we'd be like, well, we're going to fuck up all the land.
Yeah.
And for those of you who like being on the land more than the water, it's going to suck.
Right.
And niggas will be like, oh, I don't care. I love using my gills. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be chill. But here's the other thing. What if fucking, damn, yo, I forgot what I was about to say. It was something about all of this. if it hasn't happened yet, I think I was about to say something like that. If none of this has happened yet, it still could because, you know.
If none of what has happened yet.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna do a comparison. So if humans were more open-minded, right, and put more credit to different species on this planet, and then at the same time we were able to realize, like let's say we discovered some planet, we were able to see it, or one of our rovers was able to get there and land. And it went around and collected data and footage, and we noticed that there was dozens and dozens of species on whatever planet that we could notice just from our data collection, right? If that planet were divided in two ways, whether it was water and land, or desert versus forest areas, and through our observations, we noticed that the motherfuckers that live on one part of it are far more dangerous than the motherfuckers on this part, right?
Okay.
As humans, we would be like, all right, is that because the dangerous motherfuckers are just Neanderthal dumb and they just see shit and react?
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? And is the other side peaceful because they just don't give a fuck about that kind of thing? So, because normally...
To be peaceful does take a lot of strength.
In an advanced society, you would think they would be more peaceful because they understand that they have enough technology and power that they don't have to be foreboding about it and come out, But
and they can find ways to deal with their differences.
Right. But if you're dealing with a dumbass population, or a population that you've observed over time being aggressive, even to their own detriment at times, and attacking themselves, because humans are constantly killing humans, probably more than we kill, well, except for livestock. But you know what I'm saying? We kill each other just as much as we kill food to eat.
It's crazy.
So, you know what I'm saying? If we observe that on another planet, we might not want to initially contact the violent people or the violent species that attacks itself and others and is slowly destroying the planet. We might first reach out to the other half of that planet, right? Because we're feeling like they're less likely to attack us and more likely to be like, what's up? What do you want to talk about? Blah, 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 right? Because otherwise you're going into a situation where they're just going to be aggressive only. So in that theory, aliens could think like, oh, they're so dumb, but they think they're powerful. So if we go talk to them, they're just going to try to fight us because it's something new and they're scared and they're stupid.
Yeah, right.
But, you know, maybe they focus their effort on the bigger part of this planet whenever they do come in the future or came in the past.
Which makes sense because everything seems to come in and out of water, so most of it.
And they always come and focus around big bodies of water. Like it's in the Great Lakes, there's a lot of sightings.
And all these ones were.
Yeah.
So
I just think that that's possible because, and also water is apparently a great resource. It's from the galaxies that we've been able to observe, it's not really out there like that.
Right.
So you're going to be drawn to that already because it's a resource.
Yeah.
It's the biggest part of this planet. So you're assuming that's where everybody... Oh, shit. So you're assuming that's where everybody lives because you don't know shit unless you've already been observing.
Yeah.
So you go to the crowded part.
Yeah.
And then when you get there, it's hella fish and hella shit. So you really are thinking like, this is where everybody's at. There's millions of fish. There's millions of shit down here.
And between whatever asteroids bring in to Earth.
Right, even if it was by mistake or happenstance.
To me, that could be because
the likelihood of you hitting land versus water.
Yeah, I mean, octopuses are so 70%. Weird. It seems like they would have come from a different planet.
Yeah.
And or even because it could just be something like whether it's the atoms or whatever, you know, something that can create life.
Yeah.
Hits water, which is a great resource to start life. And then boom, this creation just comes out. May not even have been a thing at a different planet.
It could have been like an evolution of what was on that comet mixed with biological shit.
It could have been something as tiny as like an ant.
The octopus over millions of years.
Right.
Yeah, yo, because when them shits come up and would attack them boats in the old
those things are weird, bro.
And they be like, we don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
and how intelligent they are, it's crazy.
Yeah. Even the stories of like mermaids and Loch Ness monsters and all of that shit. It's like, bro, the sea is unexplored, but there's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just when you're talking about UFOs, it's so much bigger than I think what people just picture like somebody saw some shit and then it sucked them up out of the woods. And I just want to know why we're so arrogant. It's like, well, have they ever fucked with a gorilla? An elephant? Anything underwater? Like, no, just people? Like, what the fuck? Like, you can't go talk to a cheetah and he be like, nigga, they was out live as shit in the Serengeti last night. Like, we don't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? We're not the only shit here. We're just the only people we can talk to as other people.
Yeah, and anytime we see a form of intelligence from another being, we're like, huh?
Right, but it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. It's just... I think it's first of all arrogant to think that this is the only planet that could possibly, in all the infinite realms that exist, have had just the right combination of shit for life to exist. Whether it's fully formed like we believe life is to be, that it has to be a human being, or if it's just, you know what I'm saying, some other kind of what we would call mammals, or
unless you're super religious,
or whatever, somewhere else. Yes, if you're super religious, then all of this is anti-God shit, and I'm the devil for even willing to talk about it.
Or you just be ignorant.
Right, but we'll talk about that on the religion episode. And I kind of can't wait. What else we got?
So we got UFOs, but okay, you had it next, good, because I did want to get to, because it's super fresh. We need to talk a little bit about the All-Star activities. I didn't get to watch the celebrity game on Friday.
I didn't watch that either.
But I do actually like to.
Monet running around, but
I saw some of it. I think I just saw clips of like that. Some of that huge dude, Duncan. But it's like everybody can shoot threes nowadays. There were some three shooters there.
Yeah, except for in the fucking 3-point contest.
It's not like it once was, but
fam.
A
nigga scored 8 at one point.
Right.
Some of the balls were worth 3.
Right.
He scored 8, yo.
Fair enough. I mean,
I can score 8.
I'm not a great shooter.
I definitely am not.
I've been learning how to shoot this year. If you see me in the gym, you be like, I seen that nigga shoot. He can't shoot. But I think I can make 8 points. I'm pretty sure I could score 8.
Yo.
So, but who was it that scored 31? It wasn't Tyrese Halliburton, was it? No, it was before him.
I don't think anybody scored 31 this year. I think
someone scored 30 or 31.
Damian Lillard won the 3-point contest, but he won with like a 25 in the second round. I don't know what he got in the first round.
In the first round, someone scored
25.
In the first round, someone scored like a 30 or 31. I can't remember who it was.
That might have been. I think it was no, because so the Indiana Pacer that had that weird afro, I think he got like 20 something. Tatum Brown. What the fuck am I saying? Jason Tatum. I can't get this shit right. Jason fucking Tatum got 20. Because I remember they was like, damn, yo, he should have did better than that. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. It took him a while to get put out because them niggas was bumming it up. Yeah,
I mean, I'm actually kind of happy that that Dame time won.
Especially I think who was available.
Right. But
fucking they had to insert Julius Randle, and then I think he only got like 13 points. And they thought that was bad, but then the one dude got 8.
Well, one of them was just like, not only was he missing, but he was just taking so much time to shoot. Like he was jumping everything.
About how they were jumping.
And Hero, Hero was. It was a nice shot. It was a really. He's a great shooter. But to shoot that consistently and get all the way to the end, I can see how tough that would be.
And Tatum fucked up because he did his money rack first and he hadn't warmed up yet, but he hit every ball on his last rack. If the last rack was all money balls, it would have doubled him up.
Right.
Instead of 20, he might have had like 27 or 25 and made it to the next round.
I was hoping I could just find results. All right. So, Tyrese Halliburton players. Oh no, this doesn't have it. Shots between 30 and 34 feet. Oh my gosh.
Man, the skills shit that they ran was whack.
I didn't get
Nobody
to see it this
cared
year.
about that. There was no defense in the All-Star game.
I did not like that.
There was none. Now here's my thing.
But I fell asleep on during the last quarter or whatever.
Yeah.
Was there defense in that one? Because normally they turn it up then.
I
think people are worried about getting hurt now.
Yeah, it was maybe a little bit more, but it was only because, at the last minute or so of the quarter they might do it because of the charity situation. Right. But you're right. Everybody was talking about not wanting to hurt anybody. They had Luka Doncic mic'd up, and you heard him at one point because they had him mic'd up while he was hooping.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
and at some point you hear him say, because he didn't play defense, and I guess somebody gave him a look, and he was like, I don't want to get anybody, in his accent. He's like, don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right.
And it was like, oh, I respect that. But it was like awkward. Nobody wanted to get hurt. It was like once anybody even got near the paint, everybody just put their arms to their side and was like, go ahead, yo.
Yeah, I hated it.
That shit's weird.
I don't want to say hate, that's a strong word, but because it's like, other than Kyrie, I mean, some of the dunks and all that, they weren't really like, I get that they weren't trying their hardest to impress anyone. But it's still like when you get that close and no one's going to stop you.
Sometimes it wasn't even close.
You want to see us. So, Grant, honestly, the last Laker game was probably more entertaining than the All-Star game.
I guess, yeah. Any game.
Any regular game,
week,
yeah. Any regular game was
insane.
probably more. So that was my issue with that. I mean, it was cool to see them, buddy and having fun. But at the same time, I do like I'm competitive. I like to see the competition aspect. Like when LeBron blocked, was it GA from OKC? I'm like, yes. Yes, and then you hear the little bit of trash talk afterwards, which not really trash talk, but he was like, no, he's like that. We're not. You're not doing that.
Yeah,
like no, sir.
But then that rarely happened in the game, and it was crazy. And
he was the only one willing to that I saw. It looked like he was him and
so much so that he was out because of defense.
Yeah,
that's the point.
Yeah.
He played defense and like
he was the only one who was trying to play defense, I think, and maybe there was a little bit of like tangling up between was it Lauri Markkanen and Joel Embiid. I thought that was. I mean, it wasn't much, but it did. I thought it was interesting.
It almost felt like basketball.
Only because it felt like they may not really like each other that much. At least on Joel Embiid.
I think that
it was like a lack of respect. I kind of felt like that he was picked last and everything. To me, I might just be in my own head, but it seemed like they were like, you don't belong here. Or like you don't belong here yet.
Everybody kind of acted that way towards certain people that were up there. But my thing is, I think a lot of that GM shit between Giannis and LeBron, especially, how the league's been since LeBron's been in it. It's kind of become more of a, guys, we don't have to be enemies. Some of us have known each other since like high school times. Let's exchange numbers. Let's talk outside of the arenas.
It's a business, right?
I feel like a lot of these guys already had some conversations via texting or whatever where it was like, in certain pockets. Where motherfuckers was like, yo, or just text LeBron directly like, yo, whatever you do, if you put me on your team, don't pick so-and-so. Or yo, if you pick so-and-so, don't pick me because I don't fuck with that nigga. And they was like, so I think probably at least 2 or 3 of those conversations happened. If they thought that the captain was receptible to it, like, oh, we cool. I'm going to just tell him like, yo, if you pick me, don't pick blank. Because of different rivalries across teams, if you're in the Eastern Conference, it's some teams you play so much and you're fighting for records, so over a couple of seasons, you're going to quickly grow that hate. And I know the All-Star game is supposed to be fun, but you might not want to play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they did that shit in the NFL, I mean, I get that happens, like the Pro Bowls and shit, but it's like, back in the day, would you really, like, if I definitely
don't watch the Pro Bowl. There's no defense in that last time.
Yeah, I don't watch those
I've
either,
never seen it,
but you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? When you put Ravens on the team with Steelers and shit, it's like...
That is interesting.
Nigga, what? Like, I don't want to play... Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like in the NBA, they have enough casual freedom to kind of talk to each other as men and be like, yo, I'd rather you just not pick me if you pick... Like, it's okay to pick yo, but just don't pick me because if we're on the court at the same time, it's still fuck him.
Right.
And but then it helps because it's like, well, the game doesn't matter and... Niggas ain't playing defense, but I think that's part of it because it's like, yo, I don't even want us to win because I'm playing with this bitch ass nigga. Like, why you pick him?
I wanted LeBron to pick Drew Holiday.
Really?
I'm like, the fact that he didn't pick him first, pick Drew Holiday, bro. The fact that Giannis didn't pick him first, and I get it. Like, if you really want Dame on your team, like, you got to get him now. So I get all that, but
I think I wanted
him to pick Drew Holiday just out of spite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that would have been cool, but I think that Giannis knew he didn't have to pick Drew early.
Because he knew LeBron wasn't going to.
Well, not just because he knew he wasn't, but because he knew he was going to pick Kyrie. Oh. So it was like, well, you can't have both of them niggas because you like to pick height because everybody kept talking about how he only picks height.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, you only going to pick one little nigga. We know you love Kyrie.
Right.
So he was like willing to take that risk. Like, nigga, there's no way you're going to take my man instead of your man. Like, get your boy and get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I assume you probably get bonuses if you make it to the All-Star level, right? You make it to an All-Star game. I'm assuming you get some sort of
You probably do, but even if not, it goes on your NBA resume.
Right,
especially when it's time to try to make Hall of
Fame. So, for that reason, I think it's cool. Like, people like Drew Holiday are in it, right? My only issue is, if y'all ain't going to play defense, why have a great defensive player in it?
When LeBron picked, they was like, how you feel about the team? He's like, well, we got defensive presence, and that's pretty good. We're going to need that. Are you, though? Because literally, nigga, you only want to play defense, and you fucked up all 3 of these fingers.
Last year, they did play defense. Last year, they played... Well, no. Only in the last quarter. It was just the last quarter because they were trying to really figure out who was going to win. But Giannis is another one. If he would have stayed in the game, he would have played defense.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook, he might have chilled if he was in there.
I know that historically, we all kind of have come into All-Star games expecting less defense because
we wanted to see a show. Yeah,
right, we're
see
expecting
some
highlight
show.
plays.
But they should be highlight plays.
On defense as well. That's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see amazing dunks and alley-oops.
Right.
But I want to see a nigga shit get blocked, fucking slapped.
I want to see that.
I want to see a Tayshaun Prince type run up behind him, block, clap that shit on the board. Like, I need to see all types of great plays, not just, well, what if we do an alley-oop?
But even
what if we do an alley-oop? What if we dunk it? I don't know. What if I dunk it? Like, that shit is annoying.
The thing that makes great offense is the fact that they have to figure out.
You avoided that amazing defense.
Exactly. So when they just, and that's how you could tell, like when they give somebody a free lane and they just do this little regular dunk. Now, granted, it's tough for me to dunk. I'm not gonna lie. So,
but you're not getting paid a minimum of $500,000 a year to do it.
It's like I should be impressed, right? But at the same time, I've seen these people do great dunks. Like, so I want to be entertained. That's why I'm watching this, because I want to be entertained. The halftime show was like more entertaining.
Yeah, and I just want to be clear about that. I want to double down on that point. I get, because people will say shit on social media just to get likes and sound cool, just to be contrarian, and they'll be like, "Oh, you fat motherfuckers sitting on the couch, drinking soda and eating chips, talking about how these athletes need to do more athletic shit."
They get paid to do it,
right? Like, nigga, I'm not. That's not my job. Right. Like, when he comes to my job, he gets to be like, "Bitch, fix them spreadsheets and do better."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you get paid to jump around, and I am off work right now.
Yeah.
I am fucking entertained by you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm entertaining myself in my off time with your work.
Yeah, and because
so
of my
I get to comment on
eyes,
your fucking work, just like if I was at McDonald's and my sandwich is wrong. Unfortunately, I get to be like, fam,
you
my
messed
fucking
up.
sandwich is wrong. You don't get to be like, nigga, you don't even make sandwiches.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't work here. I don't have to know how to make I don't know how to make a Big Mac.
That's a good point.
But you fucking should.
Yeah,
you know
that's a good point. That's a good point.
You should know how to get a triple double. I don't fucking have to.
Yeah.
They've been ruled me out on the triple doubles. I would love to play in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I mean? I knew early on, but motherfucker, if you get hired.
And you can judge me on my job. Yeah, you can judge me on my job the same way I can judge you. That's fair.
You need to know how to do that shit, and you don't get to tell me that I can't comment because I don't work there. Fuck you.
I think that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean,
especially when you get paid to entertain me.
Yeah. And it's because we are watching. All of our eyes are watching, which is why they have so much advertising dollars.
You're right. I have to have comments. You've taught me the rules. And you showed me what they got to do well. Mm-hmm. So I believe that I am now allowed to comment, whether it's on social media or to my boy while we're watching the game, and be like, "Yo, this nigga's not doing right." Fair enough with that shit about you're not even in shape. Shut the fuck up. I'm also not rich. Right. Sure. I would trade it if I could. You know what I'm saying? But I whatever. I just think that's crazy.
I do want to talk bring another point up, but I definitely have to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
Yeah, do that. Right. While that's happening, do you think? Is this locked? Because I was gonna get. If you can pull up some music, I'm gonna hit motherfuckers with, at least on the live, maybe a Gawd something or a L3 something while you're away, so I'm not just talking people to death.
What kind of music you be?
Either something of yours or something of ours. You know what I'm saying?
I'll go to.
I would do it, but it's gonna cause me to kill the Facebook.
Because this is the easiest thing. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Let's go Warrior.
So we're gonna take like a small intermission. I'm gonna still be here with y'all. You know what I mean? If anybody wants to jump in on the live, talk to me. But we're gonna play some music off of the Gawd's album from last year. You know, until my man come back, till my co-host get back. You know, I might even get something set up for myself, get a little nice, because my pen is not working for me, you know. I don't know. I feel like we got a couple more topics for y'all, but we're also reaching that time limit point, so I appreciate y'all rocking with us tonight in this inaugural episode. This shit gonna be fun, man. We're gonna talk to y'all about a lot, you know. Let me see. What we got? We're gonna play this joint. Shit, is this shit on Bluetooth? Hold on, y'all. Okay. Here we go. Shit. Alright, we're gonna do this again. Hold on, y'all. I'm fucking up. I do not, yo. Fucking iPhones, yo.
make a wobble in the kitty. Got no rival in the city, it's a lie do I can pity. If I'm not an anomaly, then how do I be so pretty? Pinpoint to pick the path of a person with perfect pitch. Picture verses that's gonna last, all my words are a perfect gift. If you heard of me, that's the past, but you learning a little bit. You was hurting to get the cash, now you earning a little bit. I'm determined. I just sit with the burner and 3 trees and contemplate on how the shit I've been learning complete me. I skeet on that bubble, she got no sweet seats. Her knees weak, she in trouble, she about to please me.
Shout out to L3. We appreciate you rocking with us in this motherfucking inaugural On God motherfucking podcast. Shout out real quick to my motherfucking podcast family over at the CNB Wave Game. Shout out to the NBA Lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the team. We expanding. Everything is everywhere. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no time to waste, y'all. There's something that y'all thinking about doing, and you just keep not doing it. Tomorrow's not real, as we always say over here in God's nation. So make sure you just go ahead and do it, yo. After all, this shit might be a simulation, so you might as well have the niggas watching you on the monitors doing some cool shit instead of just going to work and coming home and making spaghetti and repeat. Feel me? Anyway, co-host back, we got to cut this music. Shout out to Play
in the... Well, he's not in the building, but he's kind of in
not in
the
the building, but it's good, Playboy.
Spirit.
Right, fuck with you, my nigga. I don't know if you're gonna see this.
I ain't seen him in a while. I wonder how he's doing.
Yeah, based on social media, all is well. But
Man, that dude
say
is
I know
insane.
personally, but based on social.
Whoever's singing is fire right
Yeah,
now.
that guy's killing it.
Yeah.
It's almost like he doesn't believe in simulations or something. All right, what was one of our other, did we have some other topics? I think we had
we did, but I wanted, but before we jump, I wanted to jump to was it Matt McClung?
Yeah, Matt, I think.
Yeah.
McClung, yeah.
Well, how you feel about him?
So
do you think he's going to get a deal? Because he has a 2-week deal now, right?
Yeah, I think he has a 2-week.
But after this, he's getting some steam. He's getting some publicity, and I think that to me sometimes that can be enough to be on a team, especially if you have the hops. Like if you have some sort of talent, some sort of like great basketball talent.
Yeah, which I still to some degree I do believe that even to make it, and not even just to some degree, it's just to be real. Even to make it to the G League, you got to be a certain level.
You got to be good, yeah.
Because there's motherfuckers that just be at the gym that's nice as shit,
right?
And they're never gonna make it to the G League. So
and Baltimore, I played with some nice
you go,
dudes.
It seems like they'd be like, yo, how the fuck are you real?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure that he's great because you got to be a certain level of great
you got to be good. Yeah.
Get a 2-way or even be able to rep their G League jerseys and all of that shit. So I'm assuming that it's possible. That he could get one. I think he did a great job yesterday. I don't know how much, because you got to get in the position to be able to dunk it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
and he's not a big dude. He doesn't look like.
He doesn't seem like a big dude, and I don't know. I've seen a little tiny bit of footage of him dribbling around. But you got to be able to get open. You got to be able to get that dunk, and if he can't do that because he's probably a shooting guard, right? So unless he, the team works, he drives to the bucket. Then he's probably going to be a shooter. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have to get open and shoot.
He's the second thing that pops up on Google.
Oh, that's crazy. He's going to have to go out in the perimeter. I don't know if he's got a perimeter shot. There's certain shit that teams are going to have to know about him from watching his G League footage, and they got more of it than I've ever seen. But, you know what I mean? So, depending on what they see, hell yeah, he can get a deal.
6'2".
But I do think they got to...
Yeah. I mean, it's a decent height. But
that's like
it's
point guard level.
height.
So he's not going to... So, yeah. So,
or the
point
one,
guards,
yeah.
They can only dunk when they can dunk. Like the perfect play has to get run and the motherfucker break free.
Yeah, but he can.
He can't. Right, he can get it easier than a random point guard. But it'll basically be like him and John Morant are gonna be like finding ways to get open.
Yeah.
So he needs to have more than just dribbling and dunking, and then hell yeah, he could get a deal. Yeah. And I assume he has more than that because he made it to the G League.
See, that's the thing about being I think we've talked about this. That's the thing to me about being a point guard, other than Steph Curry, which is a whole different situation because obviously he's great. But he also has an amazing system. And he has great teammates to help him with that system, right? Mm-hmm. But other than that, can you be the best player on your team at point guard and win?
Well, when it depends on what you mean by win. Win a 7-game series. Get a winning record for the season.
A championship.
Win a championship. So several 7-game series.
Right.
That could be tough unless you're an
tough.
amazing standout.
Iverson got really close, obviously.
Yeah, but he had an exceptionally poor team.
But
if he had an okay team, I believe he would have got it done. His team was ass.
Right.
Every time.
But see, the thing is, if you are that great of a player, right?
Ass, bro. It's a team sport. It's too much of a team sport.
It is.
You could do it in baseball by yourself almost.
Right.
You just, if your pitcher's okay and you're going to hit it 40% of the time,
right.
then you could kind of will your team to some shit.
But see,
I don't think you can do that in
you definitely
or
can.
football.
You need more than that. But the reason why I'm saying this is because I feel like it's easier to win with a more traditional style point guard, like not being the best player on your team, someone like Chauncey Billups or Steve Nash. Even though Steve Nash could potentially be the best player on somebody's team, but that wasn't the role that he seemed to ever care to play. So
maybe it's about I guess yes, but I would argue maybe it depends on your coach, what your coach is good at coaching.
Right.
Because I think like Phil Jackson always wanted to run the triangle at that point.
Yeah.
And that was like built for what it was built for. You know what I'm saying? So and now Golden State runs a lot of plays that's just like screens, some
which
of which
is
people
insane,
claim
bro.
are illegal.
It's like 3 and 4.
Right, but it's just it's just these ridiculous amount of screens to
I
break
think it's
Curry
too
open.
much. You can probably say that some of them are illegal, but there's so much going on. It's hard.
Right.
They're going to get away with something.
So I guess that's what I'm saying. If you have a coach that will coach to the fact that that's the best player on the team, then until
I like
other
that.
teams are able to defeat that,
right,
then you can still win. You gotta, but your coach has to coach to your best player, and your team has to buy into it.
Yeah.
If they don't buy that shit,
the team has to buy in. The team has to buy in.
Y'all are gonna lose, and then because now you're running shit through just whoever's open, and that motherfucker might not be that great or whatever, and then the fans are gonna be like, "Yo, why wouldn't you give it to the guy that's got like a 99 on 2K?" Like I'm not a coach, but what the fuck?
Because the way that I've always viewed it is like I feel like you need like 3 like solids. Like you need one that shines above the rest, maybe. And
especially nowadays.
Like in my head, it was always either a shooting guard or a small forward, right? Well, which I guess no one really uses those terms anymore. They use 1 guard, 2 guard, whatever. But
and now they're trying to make it positionless basketball.
I know, yeah. Which I can't knock it. I'm just used to what I kind of grew up on, what I really adored when I was younger.
Yeah.
And this basketball is pretty dope too, because there's some amazing stuff that we're seeing. But the way that I always viewed it was you would have a good big. You'd have a good point guard, and you would have a star and a shooting guard or a small forward, and that's like the winning pedigree.
I'm not mad at that. I think that there are a lot of winning combinations, but I can't say that that's incorrect.
Honestly, I think Phoenix is about to prove that in a way, even though I don't know that they would really consider Kevin Durant a big, but back in the day he would have been
like
a big.
7 feet tall. He's not like sturdy.
Yeah. So, but
he's not David Robinson.
Now that might not be the exact thing because he could be like the forward, but either way.
In that scenario, I guess they would still consider Ayton the big, although I feel like he's probably only got Durant by like 14 pounds and like an inch in height at best.
But I just mean like a because if you granted the small forward shooting guard, like I said, would be typically the best. Doesn't necessarily have to be because if you look at like San Antonio when they were running things, obviously Tim Duncan was like the top dog on that team. But you had a great point guard in Parker.
And I hated Parker and
Ginobili.
Yeah, they got my fucking
but you see, and Ginobili
was cooler than Parker. Parker always irked me for some reason. I don't know what it was. Every time I saw his fucking face, I'd be like, his face didn't even look like he was supposed to be in the NBA to me. I don't mean that to sound crazy.
Right.
He just looked like too French or something. Like he looked like he was supposed to be like.
Well, I don't know if he's French or not, but his voice, the way his voice sounds,
he looked like he was supposed to be. Like he looked like he was supposed to be in a group with like John B or something.
Okay, I get you.
Like he just didn't feel NBA to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to explain it. He just wasn't cool.
In some way, okay.
He was just like, what the fuck? I fucking hated the Spurs. Everybody on the Spurs just looked like some.
I just thought that they were boring, but it was fundamental basketball.
They were the lamest. My dad loved how the Spurs played. I feel like the Spurs
I like
was
Ginobili.
the lamest fucking bunch of guys. How did they find a whole bunch of squares at the same time is beyond me.
I think they just went out and searched overseas, like, who can we get that can play to this whatever they're trying to do?
We wanted motherfuckers with no personality. Like, yo.
Right.
Tim Duncan had a dragon.
They were boring, right.
He had a fucking dragon tattooed on his back. Yo, the first time I noticed, like, that shit peeking out of his jersey pieces, I was like, nigga, that better not be one of them dragons they be having on them silk button-up ass shirts. Nigga, do you have a whole... like, you know
I never saw this.
There's
I gotta
nothing cool to me. Like,
I never saw that.
Now, since then, I know dragons are very popular tattoos. Blah, blah, blah. But bitch so the one cool... You know what I mean? Like, if so... Because to me, Tim Duncan was very vanilla.
Yeah.
So to see that you have a full back tattoo... was like surprising until you see that it's like some randomly like I guess and you know what I mean, and then we're talking about the late 90s 2000s.
I mean,
back when anime was
this is probably newer.
Cool.
This looks like that looks
fam. It always
back
looked
then
like
it probably
he had
didn't
a
look that
fucking
great.
dragon popping out. For all I know, that's a cover up. Because this motherfucker looked like he had the lamest tattoo. Like that was just my feeling about that whole team.
Well, that's one of those.
That's what I used to see. That's the clown.
No, that's the Joker thing.
The gesture.
Yes.
I don't. Whatever it was.
That's what it looks like. It's like a devil. That's not a great.
I thought that I was probably wrong back then. I probably thought that was a dragon head or something. But my point is just because when he first was like getting drafted. You know
what happened? Did you move your water? That I've been drinking mine.
I didn't drink much, so however it got
that's
there,
yours.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was like, damn, did something shut off? I was looking at the buttons and shit. Like, what?
I was just like, hold on, wait.
So when Tim Duncan was coming out, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't watch college ball, and I definitely didn't watch it back then when I was young.
Right.
So all I saw was his name had Duncan in it, and I was like, yo. It's a nigga named Duncan.
I thought that was dope. Yeah,
I was like, yo, and he got drafted early. I was like, yo, he's gonna be amazing.
Just for someone to shoot off the backboard all the time.
Right. So my childish,
but he's great.
My childish outlook to what that was gonna be back in like '98 or whatever fuck year that was that he got drafted, versus what he turned into in the court, which was they would interview this nigga and he'd be like, yeah, we're gonna play ball, we're gonna play it well, and then he would get on the court and be like, I laid it up well. Like that was the look on his face. He never was like, woo, yeah. Right. He never did none of that shit. And then I started watching, and he wasn't dunking the ball. And he would be like right there. And he would get the rebound and like pump fake, and niggas would go for it. So now he's open and just pow, and he would still just be like, man, I'll just fucking just drop it in. I'll just fucking tap it off the backboard. Yo, I hate it.
Yeah,
I hated the fact that it felt like he didn't give a fuck. He was like the first Kawhi.
Yeah.
Like, it never ever.
I think they played together as well too.
Fam, when he went, oh my god, hey, I was like, yo, he's a fucking Spur. It's like fucking Popovich, he knew.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, he must have talked to that
nigga. He knew.
So, yo, because you know Kawhi can't laugh. He's got that weird sound. He be like, it sounds like someone's hurting him and shit.
Yeah.
And I bet you that one time.
To me, it sounds like a fake laugh. It's like he's purposely telling you that he's fake.
It sounds so much worse than that, yo. Damn. At some point, I feel like Popovich must have talked to that nigga or saw him talk to somebody on his bench and witnessed / heard his lack of like, and was like,
I need him.
Yeah, like he's defensive minded. He doesn't have a fucking. He doesn't care. He's just here to work. Like that's great.
That makes that for a coach like Popovich, I would imagine that's probably what he would. I don't need no one that's going to talk back.
And that's cool that he built the team that worked for him. But what it did for me at that age, and it has now stuck with me forever, is the Spurs are boring. They pick boring people. They've got boring shit.
No energy, no cool.
Fuck Texas. Fuck,
yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Other than Charles Barkley talking about San Antonio women, which is like the most funny thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Mac McClung, hopefully he should be able to get a signed deal because it looks like a nice inspirational story. I wouldn't mind hearing more of that. Why do you have Karl Malone in for the Knicks?
Karl Malone.
I did not know he was third in points. I didn't know that.
Karl Malone has been the fucking anti. So in the 90s, I hated Karl Malone because he was like the antagonist of Michael. Like when it was time to go to the finals.
See, I like Karl Malone.
Fuck Karl Malone. You won't in about 3 minutes.
Okay.
Karl Malone was always fucking there. Back then, I used to be like, yo, he's the only black guy in fucking Utah. My dad just texted me something similar today that I put on my fucking Facebook. He was like, it was last night or some shit. He was like, well, I bet you Salt Lake City's never seen this many blacks before.
Oh yeah, no bull, bro. It was
Man.
crazy, especially like the halftime show was wild.
Yeah, so back then it was just Karl Malone. Karl Malone, and people were saying that this was just a rumor at some point back in the day when the NBA was trying to save face because he was one of their fucking whatevers, and they still did it all this weekend, and it pissed me off. Karl Malone had someone accusing him at some point earlier on in his career that he had gotten someone pregnant. Oh. And he wasn't claiming the baby. But when he did it, he was 20. And the girl he got pregnant was 12. Now, initially he was like, it's bullshit. But paternity test, Mr. Maury said, bitch, you did it. And now everyone knows that he did it. To the point where we're also all aware of the fact that when he finally met up with this child, when they were almost an adult or an adult, I forget the exact age number, he said to him, well, it's too late for me to be a father to you now. You're going to have to go out and make it on your own. And that was all he ever said or did for this motherfucker. After statutory raping and impregnating a 12-year-old, hushing it up, and nobody is socially making him pay for this. Except those of us that feel like mentioning it when we see him being rewarded for simply fucking showing up to an all-star game. Nigga, you should have never been heralded in the first place. You shouldn't have had a chance to build the career that the NBA tried to protect because you did some wild shit before you even. And he was
at that time they didn't want a bad image, so they were trying
couldn't
to protect
take any
players.
because they were so busy trying to make sure they had a good one to begin with, which is why the Michael thing went so well. You know what I'm saying? Certain players, but Joe, that shit.
It's wild.
Is it's in that category of things that I can't accept because when I try to remember myself as a 20-year-old, I can't picture me finding anything attractive about someone that age. I just can't understand it, and I don't think I should have to. I don't think anybody should have to try to put them. That shit's just not cool, and nobody fucking they don't seem to care enough about it. So I'm on air saying fuck yo.
Yeah, I get you.
And from what I read, and again, I don't necessarily I guess I don't fact check every fucking article I read, but something I read suggested that his son did end up making it to the NFL and he played like 5 seasons. But it's crazy to me that you can get away with impregnating a 12-year-old while you're like famous and be allowed to continue that and then be bought back like a fucking champion. Then they showed the nigga next to Stockton. Fam, I think somebody even said like, Stockton's pretty annoying, but maybe they should have gave him the honor instead of Karl because Karl's got some shit.
It was only because he was third, right, in points, right?
It was, and also because they were in Salt Lake City for the first time to do the All-Star game in 30 years, and he's like one of the biggest players that they've ever had. But that's also the Jazz fault for always having shitty teams. Yeah, like y'all should have been able to come up with players over the last 20 years, 25 years. To find somebody noteworthy more than bringing back rapey ass Karl Malone and every night putting this nigga on camera and being like, he's amazing. They let him judge the dunk contest. He's not a fucking good dunker. I'm fucking strong and I'm right here, so I'm gonna elbow you in the fucking chest and dunk it, dunker. You know what I'm saying? He's not that, yo. So it's like, why is he judging that?
He's just mean down there. But
why is he? Yeah, it's just. Yo, you can't. You shouldn't be able to get those. Now I know there are people in other communities that get those passes. Like Elvis had a pass, and these other people had a pass. And some people are gonna be like, "Well, give Karl Malone a break." Other people got away with it, but what can't we just say? Fuck all of those people.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they got R. Kelly up there sitting next to John Stockton and shit, and just acting like it's all cool, like they ain't never heard none of that shit. And I just feel like it's true enough that they should have heard and knew about it. And most of us knew about it for a little while. But it's one of those things, it went away because he went away because he's not in the NBA. Right. But then you bring him back, and anybody that's not like young, and I'm not saying you're young,
I'm pretty young.
You just happen to not be aware
in comparison.
But
I guess I'm not. But
example, like somebody that's like 19 or 20 would never there, but like I didn't even know who he was. I just kind of heard his name.
They definitely wouldn't know who he was.
Right. So they're definitely not going to know any extra shit with it because they don't even know who he is. But it just sucked because it's like, I'm not that old.
I don't remember that story.
But like, nigga, I remember, that's what? Like, why the fuck is he right there? And this is, so I think when that story came out, it was way before the Me Too movement and all that happened. So that's the other thing for me.
For sure.
Is it came out at a time where people were allowed to just ignore it. I guess.
Well, and
if you chose to, I'm like, well, it doesn't affect me.
And you have a
I
big
don't care.
corporation that's going to try to quiet it down so it
Right.
doesn't
So
mess up
part of
their
it had to
image.
be. Some people was like, oh, it must have just been. That's just some story I heard. It's probably not true.
Right. Wow.
But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? When you can prove that
I did not
it is true.
I did not expect that with Karl Malone.
And then, right, because he seemed like, you know, back when...
I mean, not that I don't expect that from Karl Malone, but I didn't expect that was going to pop out just now.
What blew me was that I don't remember knowing about it at the time that I was watching him play, but I guess in fairness, in the late 90s, I was like fucking 12.
Yeah.
So even if they were talking about it in the news, I probably wasn't watching that channel.
Yeah, and I
and
didn't...
ESPN wasn't going to talk about it.
I didn't start watching basketball really until like the early 2000s, I think.
Right. So, yeah. So
until like, honestly, until LeBron and Melo came in.
Right.
I think
like
that's
03,
that's more so when I started watching. Yeah. So that's early. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying, but I just think that that's crazy because the shit seemed to revolve around Utah so much that they had to produce Utah stars, and it was like, fam, that's important.
It's interesting that they'll still hold Kobe about the issue that he had.
Right.
I've never heard that Karl Malone.
Right, but somehow he's just protected. And
that is interesting.
I don't know if it's because Utah is such a Mormon state that once he became the face of their team, it was like, oh, we can't.
You think it's no? Well, Utah might be normal there.
Well, if so, that would be weird since they're supposed to be so religious and holier than thou type of area.
Yeah, but where in religion has an age thing?
Well, it needs to. I feel you, but God,
I mean, they used to marry. They used to marry like girls off.
Touche. I ain't mad.
To men coming back from war.
You're right. That's fucked up. But anyway, I put Karl Malone down because of that. I wanted to do my part to say fuck him on more than just my Facebook post.
I get you.
So for what that's worth, especially, you know what I mean, it started off when I was little. I was just like, yo, I just want Michael to win, so fuck him. But now, ever since whenever, and I just think it's weird that the NBA was willing to not make anything about it, knowing the climate that we're in ever since we started finally trying to address these social injustices.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying, done to women, and I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
That one,
that's that woman,
that one's
to
pretty
that
wild.
child.
Yeah,
now,
that one's really, really wild.
Yeah, but that was it for that.
The last main thing that we have, because we are well over what we thought we. This is okay for a podcast,
Yeah, plus
but
some of it was getting ready and.
Yeah, for sure. The peanut butter and jelly sketch.
Yo, all right, so
which some people may not get, but that's fine.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, and especially since we was gonna, tether all these things together. Right. So, if y'all don't know, here on Gawd, we also have a fucking Gawd's TikTok channel that we've been running recently. So, follow us on TikTok. It's at Gawd's Music. That's GAWDS. In case for some reason you're here but don't see that somewhere, GAWDS. Gawd's Music, at Gawd's Music on TikTok. So we figured that we would talk about some of our TikToks on our podcast, sometimes. And I felt like one of the ones we should talk about first is the TikTok where my man is making a PBJ.
Yeah. It's so simple, but it was a true story. But it's still one of those things where we're just figuring out, we're learning, we're creating, and If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. But
right. So what we figured out during this. So if you haven't seen it, please go watch. It may pop up in the comments depending on where you're watching this and when you're watching this. But you know what I'm saying? It's making a peanut butter jelly, and we didn't put captions on this one because we wanted to see where y'all brains went.
Yeah.
But
because we knew that was gonna happen.
Right. Because it was gonna. We was hoping at least. Yeah. You know what I mean, some controversy, some topics, some conversations will come up. So, in the video, you'll see he pauses at a certain point, and some people have been asking us, like, what's the disconnect? Why did he stop? Why did he pause? Is there something on the knife?
Right.
What's on the knife? What happened? What y'all didn't say? And it's funny, in my mind, I'm like, yo, you said the word knife.
Who puts a knife in jelly?
Right, you said knife like it was normal.
Who does that?
Is it normal? So that's the question. That's one question we wanted to ask y'all, and y'all can put it in the comments anywhere you are at if you're seeing this.
And your friend, I feel like he was just double downing on the fact that he didn't know.
Yeah.
About he was like, I use anything.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
Which is the homie.
It is.
Yeah.
So the question for y'all officially is, when you make a peanut butter and jelly,
right?
Do you use a knife for the peanut butter and the jelly, Or
Right.
do you use a spoon for the jelly and a knife for the peanut butter, or some other
Which
variation?
I would imagine is the most normal thing.
Right. Talk to me about it. I feel like it might have been my dad that showed me to use a spoon for the jelly. But
Who uses a knife with jelly? It's you're not going to get that much.
According
from the
to
knife.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to do a lot. And
I can't even imagine spreading it with the
balance
knife.
it and shit.
Yeah,
It's all like,
that's
well,
wild. Like you would have to take it and scoop it out and then on. Maybe that's what some people do. You just scoop it out and then pour it on. But then you're gonna get too
right,
much.
You just gotta dump the
you're gonna get
shit,
too
you
much
hold it
jelly.
to the side.
And I'm not a fan of too much jelly.
Yeah.
And I don't want too much peanut butter. You have to have a decent
Right.
mix.
Y'all gotta understand that you can
So-
use the rounded part of the spoon to smooth the jelly out. Like.
Yeah,
You smooth it out.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
change
that's literally what I do. That's what I do.
A little bit. That's what
yeah.
you do. Right. You don't even have to use
dump
a
it.
knife.
I get it all out there, and then I just mush it around.
My knife is already in the sink.
Yeah.
I've been done with that shit. You
Yeah.
cross the tent because trust me.
Well, my knife isn't because I do the peanut butter one last because I always do peanut butter on top. You do peanut butter on the bottom?
I have two separate breads right here, so
Same.
it doesn't matter. I'm just
saying, but which one do you put on top?
I'll have to check next time I do it. I don't know. In my mind,
There's
I feel like
no
right
way
now
you
I'm just
don't
gonna say
know
either.
that. You probably
I probably
you
put
haven't
the
made-
peanut butter on top because it's not
I
gonna.
can't
leak
imagine
off
putting the
side.
peanut butter on the bottom. I just can't imagine doing the peanut butter.
Because if you put it on the top to begin with, the jelly, if you have quote unquote
It's
a
just
little bit too
sandwiches
much
in the
jelly,
jelly.
it can try to start to roll off.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
But here's my other thing I wanted to say to
That
the
was
people
so
that just
inaudible.
use one utensil is at some point, regardless of which thing you do last, if you use the same knife,
Right.
you're putting one of the fucking things into the other. Because just because you wiped it on the bread doesn't mean every little morsel of it is gone.
Right.
So now there's some wet jelly in your peanut butter.
That's true.
Or
but
there's some dry ass jelly peanut butter in your
I'm
jelly
not
jar.
horribly mad about that. Only because
I am, because it's gonna go in the wrong plate. Like the jelly goes in the fridge, right? And the peanut
Well,
butter
yeah,
goes in the
in the
cabinet.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have cold peanut butter bits in your jelly, and you're
This is
gonna
true.
have hot jelly bits in your peanut butter that's in the cabinet.
That's true.
That's crazy to me.
Well, the only reason why. Well, you can come in. I'm left it open. Those are the lights we need right there. We need that kind of a light, honestly.
That would be cool, but we obviously wouldn't be able to do that the whole time.
Yeah. Should we open it so she can come in?
Yeah, I'm about to hit the joint again.
Yeah.
So y'all, we are
We're wrapping up anyway. But leave a comment if you guys do weird things with your. You know how to make a peanut butter and jelly. Don't. I mean, if you're weird about it, let us know because why else would you use a knife for your jelly? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is if you do word use if you get a little bit of jelly in your peanut butter, to me it's not that big of a deal. They made the thing that I would never eat. I would never eat it when it's already pre-mixed.
I can't do it.
That's
just
ridiculous.
seeing that in the store pisses me off.
Yeah, that actually did make me a little upset. But because it's all going to the same place, I don't care that they touch. You know what I mean? But yeah, no knives and jelly, man. Don't make life hard for yourself. That's one of the things that someone is making. You're making your life hard for yourself if you're using a knife to get jelly out to put on your
and then
bread.
smearing it with the knife. That's crazy. How many? So it's like the Tootsie Pop commercial. Like how many sticks of the knife and the jelly does it take for you to successfully get enough jelly maneuvered onto your fucking bread and spread that bitch around? I need to know answers to that too. If you like to dip your knife in the jelly.
Because that's wild.
Because that's too much. If we're gonna do all that, I'll just make a different snack.
Yeah.
I don't have enough time
It's way
to
too wild.
finagle this fucking jelly knife. Like y'all are crazy. So anyway,
but on that, it's time to end it.
right. So
We've been
thank
here
y'all
long
for
enough.
y'all input on the TikToks. Please keep checking them out. Please come back to the next episode of On God.
On God, you better come back. On God, come back.
Right, because we're gonna be on it talking about some real shit. I can't give y'all outro music because if so, I'll have to cut the Facebook feed. So just pitch us some dope shit, and we're gonna.
They might not. They may get it. We'll see.
Y'all might
We'll
get
see.
some.
We'll
Y'all
see.
probably won't. We're gonna have it all smoothed out for the next episode. Appreciate y'all. Anybody that's watching later, feel free to comment. We'll come back in and talk to y'all. I don't know, man. You got anything you want to talk to them about before you leave? Anything you want to promote? Or
At this moment, the only thing I would want to promote is Sippy Cup, which is one of the songs that we just got finished and it's out with featuring Sunny Reds. So
Facts.
it's
Shout
a
out Sunny
dope.
Reds.
It's a dope song. I don't think you hear a lot of songs like this. It's pretty wild. Sunny comes on super crazy. But I think y'all should check that out. Anywhere you get music, it's called Sippy Cup. They're There actually are other songs called Tippy Cup.
There are. This one's by Gawd. You know.
This one's by Gawd. Gawds. Look up Gawd's Sippy Cup, and it's a dope tune.
You know, L3's going ham on the motherfucking hook.
Yeah, that definitely did my thing. I like to think, but you know, if you guys don't think so, you can leave a comment for that too.
Shout out to Regulus on the beat.
Absolutely, 100%.
Studios. You know, it's a lot of good things going on with that track. So I agree, man. Y'all should check that out.
Check that out. And that's all I got.
Good, cool. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Kyrie Strong movement. Shout out to the CNB Wave Gang. Shout out to MDMA Lifestyle Wave. Shout out to Snaps on the Petro. Shout out to all them shows over there. Shout out to everybody on the team over there.
Truth.
Shout out to Pro, Pete the Dark Truth. Shout out to everybody on the team. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Shout out everybody.
Them
Shout
guys,
out
Pink Elephants. Yeah,
shout
them
out
guys.
Cliff, Brina. Shout out everybody over there.
Yeah, Mr.
You know what I'm
Rain.
saying? Yeah, Damon Rain. Definitely shout out to the brother. You know what I'm saying? If any of y'all see this, feel free to share this.
Yeah, for sure.
Man? Feel free to come through and hop on an episode in the future.
And also check out Miss
Set up
You.
properly.
Check out Miss You again with Damian Rain featuring L3, me.
L3.
That's a dope song. Miss You, MS.U. The letter U. Check that song out. It's a beautiful song, especially if you're in the mood to cry. It might help you out. So
There it is.
until next time.
All right, y'all. We out. Appreciate y'all. Some of y'all might get some outro music.